In the mood of I am the seeker, if we are beginning our day consciously, throughout the day, whatever we do can be made as sadhana throughout the day. Only that will be done, which will be called as sadhana. May we all get trained in this aspect of living every day, every moment as sadhaka for sadhana of the siddhi of Paramatma. Om Sahanavavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhetamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vamsharusibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyah. Om Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam Vishaje Bhavaroginam Gurave Sarva Lokanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokashankaram. Om Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavanto Punah Punah. Om Shri Shruti Matre Namaha Parabrahmane Namaha. समस्त ब्रह्म विद्या आचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः. श्री वेद व्यास वैशंपायन याज्ञवल्क्याद्य शंकरादि गुरुभ्यो नमः. अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः. ओम समस्त गुरूणां देवतानां परब्रह्मणः श्रुतिमातुः अनुग्रहेण श्रुतियुक्त परब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणे एव अवाप्त्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकसंस्कृतेः विश्वव्याप्त्यर्थं विश्वशान्तिकल्याणार्थं समस्तसाधकानां विघ्ननिर्मूलनार्थं विवेकवैराग्यादि शमदमादि सत्संपदा श्रद्धाभक्त्यादि सत्संपदा अवाप्त्यर्थं आयुरारोग्यक्षेमस्थैर्यादि अवाप्त्यर्थं छान्दोग्य उपनिषदः पारायणं तैत्तिरीय उपनिषदः भाष्य समेत अध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे. आदौ पारायणम्. In the fourth chapter into the 10th, how many? Ninth khanda. Up to that we have done our chanting. We have 6-7 khandas in this fourth chapter. Today we conclude that chanting, which gives us familiarity as well as a trupti that this big Upanishad, at least we have done the chanting of it. Then we will do the study also of it with Bhashyam later on. Let us do it. Om Ata Chandogya Upanishad Shanti Mantraha. Om Apyayantu Mamangane Vak Pranaha Chakshuh Shrotram Atho Balam Indriyani Cha Sarvani Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam Maham Brahma Nirakuryam Mama Brahma Nirakarot Anirakaranamastu Nirakarananme Astu Tadatmani Nirate Ye Upanishatsu Dharmaha ते मयि संतो. ओम शांति शांति शांति. अथ चतुर्थोऽध्यायः दशमः खण्डः. ओम उपकोसलो हवै कामलायनः सत्यकामे जाबाले ब्रह्मचर्यम् उवास. तस्यः 12 वर्षाणि अग्नीन् परिचचार. सः स्म अन्य अन्तेवासिनः समावर्तयगन् तगंह स्मैव न समावर्तयते. तं जाया उवाच तप्तो ब्रह्मचारी कुशलम् अग्नीन् पर्यचारीन् मा त्वाग्नयः परिप्रवोचन् प्रब्रूहि अस्मा इति तस्मै हा प्रोच्यैव प्रवासाञ्चक्रे सः व्याधिना अनशितुं दध्रे तम् आचार्यजाया उवाच ब्रह्मचारिन् अशान किन्नो न अश्नासि इति सहोवाच बहवः इमे अस्मिन् पुरुषे कामाः न अनत्यया व्याधिभिः प्रतिपूर्णोऽस्मि न अशिष्यामि इति अतः अग्नयः समुद्रे तप्तो ब्रह्मचारी कुशलं नः पर्यचारीत् हन्त अस्मै प्रब्रवाम इति तस्मै ह ऊचुः प्राणो ब्रह्म कं ब्रह्म खं ब्रह्म इति सहोवाच विजानामि अहं यत् प्राणो ब्रह्म कं च तु खं च न विजानामि इति तेह ऊचुः यद्वाव किं तदेव खं यदेव खं तदेव कम् इति प्राणं च अस्मै तदाकाशं च ऊचुः अथ एकादशः खण्डः अतः एनं गार्हपत्यः अनुशशास पृथिवी अग्निः अन्नम् आदित्यः इति यः एष आदित्ये पुरुषः दृश्यते सोऽहमस्मि स एवाहमस्मि इति स य एतमेवं विद्वान् उपास्ते अपहते पापकृत्यां लोकी भवति सर्वमायुरेति योग्जीवति न अस्य अवरपुरुषाः क्षीयन्ते उप वयं तं भुञ्जामः अस्मिगंश्च लोके अमुष्मिगिंश्च य एतं विद्वान् उपास्ते अथ द्वादशः खण्डः अतः एनम् अन्वाहार्यवचनः अनुशशास आपः दिशो नक्षत्राणि चन्द्रमा इति यः एष चन्द्रमसि पुरुषः दृश्यते सोऽहमस्मि स एवाहमहमस्मि इति स य एतमेवं विद्वान् उपास्ते अपहते पापकृत्यां लोकी भवति सर्वमायुरेति ज्योग्जीवति न अस्य अवरपुरुषाः क्षीयन्ते उप वयं तं भुञ्जामः अस्मिगंश्च लोके अमुष्मिगंश्च य एतम् एवं विद्वान् उपास्ते अथ त्रयोदशः खण्डः अतः एनम् आहवनीयः अनुशशास प्राणः आकाशः द्यौः विद्युत् इति य एष विद्युति पुरुषः दृश्यते सोऽहमस्मि सः एवाहमस्मि इति स य एतमेवं विद्वान् उपास्ते अपहते पापकृत्यां लोके भवते सर्वमायुरेति ज्योग्जीवति न अस्य वरपुरुषाः क्षीयन्ते उप वयं तं भुञ्जामः अस्मिगंश्च लोके अमुष्मिगंश्च य एतम् एवं विद्वान् उपास्ते अथ चतुर्दशः खण्डः तेह ऊचुः उपकौसलेशा सौम्य ते अस्मद्विद्या आत्मविद्या आचार्यः तु ते गतिं वक्ता इति आजगाम ह अस्य आचार्यः तम् आचार्यः अभ्युवाद उपकौसल इति भगव इति ह प्रतिशुश्राव ब्रह्मविद इव सौम्य ते मुखं भाति को नु त्वा अनुशशास इति को नु मा अनुशिष्याद्भो इति ह आपा इव निहनुते इमे नूनम् ईदृशा अन्यादृशा इति इह अग्नीन् अभ्यूदे किं नु सौम्य किल ते अवोचन्निति इदमिति ह प्रतिजज्ञे लोकान् वाव किल सौम्य ते अवोचन् अहं तु ते तद्वक्ष्यामि यथा पुष्करपलाश आपः न शिष्यन्ते एवं विधि पापं कर्म न श्लिष्यते इति ब्रवीतु मे भगवान् इति तस्मै होवाच अथ पञ्चदशः खण्डः य एषः अक्षिणिः पुरुषः दृश्यते एषः आत्मा इति ह उवाच एतद् अमृतम् अभयम् एतद् ब्रह्म इति तद्यदि अपि अस्मिन् सर्पिर्वा उदकं वा सिञ्चति वर्त्मनि एव गच्छति एतगं संयद्वाम इति आचक्षते एतगं हि सर्वाणि वामानि अभिसंयन्ति सर्वाणि एनं वामानि अभिसंयन्ति य एवं वेद एषौ एव वामनीः एष हि सर्वाणि वामानि नयति सर्वाणि वामानि नयति य एवं वेद एष एव भामनीः एष हि सर्वेषु लोकेषु भाति सर्वेषु लोकेषु भाति य एवं वेद अथ यदु च एव अस्मिन् शव्यं कुर्वन्ति यदि च नातिशमेवापि सम्भवन्ति अर्चिषः अहरहन् आपूर्यमाण पक्षमापूर्यमाण पक्षाद्यान् षडुङ्गेति मासागं स्थान् मासेभ्यः संवत्सरगं संवत्सराद् आदित्यम् आदित्यात् चन्द्रमसं चन्द्रमसो विद्युतं तत्पुरुषः अमानवः स एनान् ब्रह्म गमयति एष देवपतः ब्रह्मपतः एतेन प्रतिपद्यमानाः इमं मानवम् आवर्तं न आवर्तन्ते न आवर्तन्ते। अथ षोडशः खण्डः एषः वै यज्ञः यः अयं भवते एषः यन्निदगं सर्वं पुनाति यदेष यन्निदगं सर्वं पुनाति तस्माद् एष एव यज्ञः तस्य मनश्च वाक्च वर्तनी तयोः अन्यतरां मनसा संस्करोति ब्रह्मा वाचा होता अध्वर्युः उद्गाता अन्यतरागं स यत्र उपाकृते प्रातरनुवाके पुरा परिधानीयाय ब्रह्मा व्यवदति अन्यतराम् एव वर्तनीगं संस्करोति हीयते अन्यतरा स यथा एकपाद् व्रजन् रथो वा एकेन चक्रेण वर्तमानः ऋष्यति एवं अस्य यज्ञः ऋष्यति यज्ञगं ऋष्यन्तं यजमानः अनुरिष्यते स इष्ट्वा पापेयान् भवते अत यत्रोपाकृते प्रातरनुवाके न पुरा परिधानीयाय ब्रह्मा व्यवदत्ति उभे एव वर्तिनी संस्कुर्वन्ते न हीयते अन्यतरा स यथा उभयपाद् व्रजन् रथो वा उभाभ्यां चक्राभ्यां वर्तमानः प्रतितिष्ठति एवमस्य यज्ञः प्रतितिष्ठति यज्ञं प्रतितिष्ठन्तं यजमानः अनुप्रतितिष्ठति स इष्ट्वा श्रेयान् भवति। अथ सप्तदशः खण्डः प्रजापतिर्लोकान् अभ्यतवतो तेषां तप्यमानानागं रसान् प्रावृहत् अग्निं पृथिव्या वायुम् अन्तरिक्षात् आदित्यं दिवः स एताः तिस्रः देवताः अभ्यतपत् तासां तप्यमानानागं रसान् प्रावृहत् अग्नेः रुचः वायोः यजुगंषि सामानि आदित्यात् स एतां त्रयीं विद्याम् अभ्यतपत् तस्याः तप्यमानायाः रसान् प्रावृहत् भूः इति ऋग्भ्यः भुवः इति यजुर्भ्यः स्वरिति सामभ्यः तद्यद् रुक्तो ऋष्येत् भूः स्वाहा इति गार्हवत्ये जुहुयात् ऋचाम् एव तद्रसेन ऋचां वीर्येण ऋचां यज्ञस्य विरिष्टगं सन्दधाति अथ यदि यजुष्टो ऋष्येत भुवः स्वाहा इति दक्षिणाग्नौ जुहुयात् यजुषाम् एव तद्रसेन यजुषां वीर्येण यजुषां यज्ञस्य विरिष्टगं सन्दधाति अथ यदि सामतो ऋष्येत सः स्वाहा इति आहवनीये जुह्यात् साम्नाम् एव तद्रसेन साम्नां वीर्येण साम्नां यज्ञस्य विरिष्टगं सन्दधाति तद्यथा लवणेन सुवर्णगं सन्दध्यात् सुवर्णेन रजतगं रजतेन त्रपुणा सीसगं सीसेन लोहं लोहेन दारुचर्मणा एवमेषां लोकानाम् आसां देवतानाम् अस्याः त्रय्या विद्याया वीर्येण यज्ञस्य विरिष्टिकं सन्दधाति भेषजकृतो हवा एष यज्ञः यत्र एवंवित् ब्रह्मा भवति एषः वा उदक्प्रवणः यज्ञः यत्र एवंवित् ब्रह्मा भवति एवं विदगं हवा एषा ब्रह्माणम् अनुगाथा यतो यत आवर्तते तत्तद् गच्छति मानवः ब्रह्म एव एकः ऋत्विक् कुरून् अश्वाभिः अक्षति एवं विधि वै ब्रह्मा यज्ञं यजमानगं सर्वागंश्च ऋत्विजः अभिरक्षति तस्मात् एवमिदम् एव ब्रह्माणं कुर्वीत न अनेवं विदम् अथ चतुर्थोऽध्यायः ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम अथ श्री कृष्ण यजुर्वेदांतर्गत तैत्तिरीय शाखांतर्गत तैत्तिरीयारण्यकान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय उपनिषद ओम यस्मात् जातं जगत् सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रलीयते येनेदं धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरुचीनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते ओम अतः प्रथमा शिक्षा वल्ली प्रथमोऽनुवाकः शान्तिमन्त्रः ओम शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् ओम शांति शांति शांति. Salutations to the Lord, to Parabrahma, to Shruti Mata, to all the Brahma Vidya Acharya, Rishimuni Guru Parampara, especially to Veda Vyasa, Vaishampayana, Agnivalkya, Adi Shankara, and also to our Gurus. Simple thought for the day before we start our Upanishad is, are we aware that we are putting efforts? And are we aware that we are aware that we are putting efforts? And also, where are we putting our efforts? Have we done our due efforts outside? Now have you come to the level of putting our due efforts inside? Many a times what happens? We are just mechanically living the life. Things happen in and around us without our own prameyam or involvement. That which happens without our own involvement is not called as sadhana. Sadhana means we are conscious of and consciously we are doing. We are aware. Whether it is the outer sadhana in the beginning, we have to be conscious. It starts with standing on our own feet, fulfilling all our dharma, the duties, even doing seva to the samajam, society, and all the upasanas to upasya devatas, including all tirthayatra, whatever sadhanas, all of them together only, put together only, bring us to the inner spiritual sadhanas. So, every one of them, are they happening by God's grace mechanically, or is there any conscious effort? This is the question. Then the answer should be, at every moment I am conscious and I am putting the effort. That's called Purushartha. That's what we are supposed to do. In the same way, continuing every day throughout life, we have decided to do japa. Then japa happens. But at the time of japa, are we conscious that we are seated there for japa? Are we conscious that we have to do and we are doing? At every name of the Lord, when we become conscious, and this is the highest sadhana, and we are putting our effort, knowing the purpose of japa, to achieve that purpose, we are consciously putting the effort. So, to knowing the purpose of satsanga, we are duly putting our efforts to learn in this satsanga or to attend this satsanga. We are very clear, very awareful, and we are putting our efforts. In the same way, as we grow in our information or the knowledge, and when we really awaken or rise to the level of contemplation by God's Guru's grace, we are very conscious that this is a mantra taken up, and these are the words in it, and these are the meanings of the word. I am aware of the meaning, and I am consciously contemplating to do the vicharana for the spashta avagahana or understanding of this pada or this mantra. At a higher level, I have understood the meaning of this mantra. Now that meaning should be my experience. Instead of that experience, something else is coming. Now consciously I am eliminating or deleting or rejecting or negating that experience. And I am trying to get this experience of my newly developed true knowledge. This becomes nididhyasana. So, all through life, our being conscious, putting efforts, being conscious duly, only is accounted for Adhyatmika sadhana. So, maybe all that way throughout the day, put our efforts. Let us not Always only say कि सब कुछ भगवान करेंगे, he only do. But then what will you do then? If he does everything. So we have to do that. Every of the sadhana consciously with awareness, we have to put the efforts to do it. Then only we can ensure that it is happening. करने से ही हम कह सकते हैं ना कि कर रहे हैं देयरफॉर हो रहा है. अब नहीं कर रहे हैं तो कैसा कह सकते हैं कि कर रहे हैं? होगा कैसे फिर? Is it not? I know कि like I am doing this class. So I am conscious and I'm putting the effort in doing this class. Of giving the introduction, then taking up the Bhashyam. So every moment conscious and consciously putting the effort and being aware of the efforts put. And we can even in fact see a later stage may when the consciousness or awareness level grows, the efforts put are giving those due results. We can be so in an X-ray eyes can visualize that these efforts give that result. So the effort is so beautiful because the result is spectacular. We also can see the result is not so great because effort was lagging behind or lacking. So better efforts, better result. That way become very conscious. Like the homemaker, when she is cooking a vegetable, she's so conscious of all ingredients and items to be added. By looking at the smell itself, she knows कि this particular item is lacking, let me add that also. She said it's a great thing that is being done by them. So, a person who is putting the whitewash, he just so consciously puts it. Then he understands it. First coat is not enough, second is done. Some places the second coat is not sufficient. Let me make the third one. He's so conscious, he looks it. He is aware while putting that effort. He never talks. They're all yogis, in fact. All these workers who work in our house are the yoga brashtas so consciously without talking to anyone those 4 hours before and after lunch they do the work. That is how the beautiful things that are happening in the world. So at that time he is aware of his efforts. He knows when he puts that wall so systematically doesn't mean that every of the brick is of same size structure. So they take the brick, they are conscious, they break the brick, and to that size only they cut them in few seconds of time, put it there. Do you see that? Awareful. So to a pujari in the temple, when the people bring flowers, coconuts, how he breaks them, how he puts them in front of Lord. When the flowers are given, how it is offered, how the earth is done. So effort, conscious effort, being aware of the effort and doing it duly is called Adhyatmic Sadhana. So let us not be in that tamoguna of nidravastha or vagueness in doing whatever sadhana we are supposed to do. Let us develop that. Let us understand the need of that. Let us know that such thing exists. Let us know that that is the way the sadhana is done, and that way done alone is called as Adhyatmika Sadhana. That only increases the level of awareness. And at the highest level, you just remain as awareness. There is nothing to be done or to be gained. Finally वो स्थिति आएगा immediately नहीं. When we go through all sadhanas to be done in which we master and transcend all the upadhis, and before that when we get exhausted of all inner and outer compulsions of habits and vasanas, then becoming awareness, being awareness will be the final achievement. Definitely it will come to everyone who are regular and sincere. Now we have done the 11th anuvakam. Before 12th one, Bhagavan Adi Shankara so kind, compassionate enough to explain to us the karma and jnana, how long or where they go together, where one is required, others is not required. After that is being exhaustively said, toward the end when he said, Ki for the upata durita kshaya, the nitya karmas are given by the Shruti Mata to be done. After the upata durtakshaya happens, then only vidya prapti. Vidya prapti, one side gives atma anubhuti. Vidya prapti, this side removes avidya, and avidya krita entire samsara. Interesting it is. When the vidya comes, that there is nothing other than Paramatma alone, very deep. In that intellectual vidya only, all the avidya, that there is multiplicity, goes away. When the avidya, the multiplicity is reality given, goes away, in that multiple world only, all the thoughts or the sankalpas or the desires or the actions or every modification of the mind called as the ichcha, dvesha, raga, suya, kama, krodha, they're all possible only when we accept the duality as a real. When through the vidya, that these are all real, that avidya is gone away, be attentive again. Through the vidya, that is one without second, self alone is there, the avidya is gone away, where we were accepting the multiplicity as real. How can there be any vikaras? Because of vikara only we do the karma. How can there be karma? Karma gives karma phala. That only binds us into samsara. All of that go away. That is the highest thing achieved in only Vedanta. Through Vedanta, Vijnanam. Hmm. So when he said like that, then the Purvakshi catches hold of Guru and says, if the Upata Duritaksha ke liye karma hai, to karma accepted. Karma is accepted only in Grahastha Ashrama, not in other three. Therefore, they are not required. Let me continue to be Grahastha. Okay, while doing Nitya Karma, but I also can enjoy the Grahastha Ashrama, lovely things. That is in his idea. Then Guru Maharaj started saying, my dear, karma is not only your nitya karma of the Agnihotra Adi. There are so many other karmas he lists. And he tells they are all done by the Brahmachari, Vanaprasthi and Sannyasi. Through them, they also get Antakarana Shuddhi and they also become qualified for Atma Vidya. Be attentive. Therefore, by saying this, Guru Maharaj is refuting his thought that only as a Grahastha one can do sadhana and reach. So his insistence that everybody throughout the life should be in Grahastha ashrama. Yavat jivet agnihotrani kurvita. Agnihotra is done only by Grahastha. Therefore, Yavat jivet one must be a Grahastha only. So like that was this person's Grahastha means identifying and being there only in that life. That's the thing. So technical words, as you said in the Shastra, we are using them. But you as a listeners, while listening, must understand what is targeted or aimed at in trying to communicate. So he want to have in the mind and in the vyavahara every of the interaction, and yet he want to get mukti, and that's possible in grahastha ashrama. Therefore, let me continue. Then he says there are so many other karmas which also can give us the upata dutakshya, with which one can get vidya, remove avidya, and remove samsara. And those karmas are there not in grahastha ashrama but brahmacharya, vanava, sannyasi. Therefore, your idea that they are not required is removed. They also are required and they also can do sadhana, they also can reach. This is the first thought conveyed by the Guru. At the next level, beautiful discussion started. What is that? Almost that also we have seen. See, mhm, mm. See, Janmantara Krita Karmabhya cha Pragapi. Janmantara Kruta Karmabhya means because of earlier lives also, people have done, even in their Grahastha Ashrama, the Agnihotradi Karma, whose aim is what? Agnihotradi Nitya Karma ka aim for a seeker is to remove the Upata Durita Kshaya. Upata, collected, Durita, the Vasanas, Kshaya, removal. The removal of the collected Vasanas, called as Upata Durita Kshaya, might have been achieved through the beautiful Nitya Karma Ityada Anushtana. Although, yeah, what you said, by Grahastha only in earlier life. अगर किया होता क्योंकि किया होगा. There are some jivas in the earlier lives they were grahastha through the Nitya Karma Anushtana they might have cleared Upata Durita. Possibility hai na. Whether you fall in that category or not, you know and your God knows. But possibility hai. We are discussing the logical points here. So, Upata, beautiful thought it is. Janmantara Krutakarmabhya cha pragapi Janmantara Krutakarmabhya cha pragapi garhastyat. Before entering the Grahastha Ashrama in the next life, what is the obstruction for Vidya Prapti? Upata Durita. So in the earlier lives, he has cleared he did the Kshaya of the Upata Durita by doing all those required nitya karma. In this new life, much before entering into grahasthasrama itself, because there is no upata durtakshaya, he can go to Guru and get the Brahma Vidya, Atma Vidya, remove the avidya, and no more samsara for him. Sambhavana hai ki nahi? Hai. Now, in that case, see the beauty of it. When the Purva Pakshi said only Grahasthasrama to be done, he brought all the other karmas which are done in the Ardhitriya ashramas and said, no, 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 he will chahiye. And now he says, even Grahasthasrama is not necessary. Why? Because in the Grahasthasrama, you do Nitya Karma for Upata Dutakshaya so that you become qualified for Vidya and through Vidya Moksha. He has already done in the earlier life. So somebody can be without entering into the Grahastha Ashrama because the Antakarana is Shuddha, through the Vidya Prapti from the Guru can become moksha, get a moksha. Sambhavana hai ki nahi? Hai, accepted by Purva Paksha. Now another point the Guru Maharaj says, yeah, when one enters into Grahastha Ashrama, he has got only the Eshanas for the Loka. That is how he enters, not for Vidya Prapti and Moksha. And these Ashanas go on growing only, strengthening only. They don't go easily unless that Grahastha takes up that he is a Jiva, he has to do sadhana to know the truth. नहीं तो जन्म जन्म वो उसी लोक ऐशना के कारण he will be involving in those karmas only, not he will be doing nitya karma ityadi for the sake of removal of upata durita. The danger is there. That is what he says. All is in the mind. If the mind is not backed by the very sublime knowledge of the intellect, that mind will have its own whims, fancies, projections, comparison, misguidance from others. It can make its own goals of life. So the three main lokas a grahastha seeks are this loka, ayam lokaha, pitru lokaha, then deva lokaha. So putrena ayam lokaha, yajna karmana pitrulokaha, vidyaya upasanaya devalokaha. So his mind is in that mode only to be happy here as long as alive. Then he will go to pitruloka and there also enjoys and go to swarga. So the enchantments or the joys that are gained will tempt and prompt him only for that. Because in that setup, when all grahasthas meet, do they talk spirituality? They can't because they feel it is out of place if something else is spoken. Just like when five sannyasis sit and discuss, they do tattva vichara, atma vichara only. They can't talk about grahastha. Unko kya lena? The birds of same feather flock together. So they mutually talk that only. This is what Bhagavan Shankara is raising to caution the grahastha, not totally rejecting that nobody should become grahastha. There is a chance for, because of these three ashanas, you may adapt to your durita instead of removing the upata durita. That risk is there. That is another point he raised. That is what he says. Karma sadhyayam cha vidyam satyam. Another point he said before that. Karma sadhyayam cha vidyayam satyam. That's why it's a continued. When the कर्म उपात दूर से निकलने के बाद विद्या पाने की क्षमता जब आ गया, because of earlier lives clearance, गारहस्थ्य प्रतिपत्ति अनर्थिका एवा. In some cases of the born people, the grahastha is anartha only. That grahastha ashrama which is taken up for upata dakshaya, he is already achieved in the earlier life. He knows in his heart none of those samskaras, vasanas are there. So for him, he need not enter. He can take up vidya and get moksha. That's what we said. There's some people who are forced by parents, even if they don't want, to enter into grahastha ashrama, not out of the nowadays type of worldly people. That not this funny culture which has so destroyingly developed, imported from the West. You understand? Because there are so many responsibilities. You cannot gel with each other. Therefore, we can't marry, but we stay together. All that nonsense which is happening, not. He is pure in his heart. Other than Brahmavidya, they want nothing. Or you can't force him. Some places forced. Therefore, he got frustrated. The wife also got frustrated. Ultimately, he had to leave and go. Many things happen. This is an example given only to justify this point that there is a possibility that some jiva could have completed all upata durtaksha in the earlier life. In this life, he is only qualified for the vidya. For him, grahastha ashrama is anartha karana. Point is completed. Then lokartatvacha putradinam. That's what. For the prapti of the three lokas, the grahastha always works to gain these three. We said putradi satyebhya cha ayam lokah, pitrulokah, devalokah. So putrena ayam lokah jayah, karmana pitrulokah, vidya devalokah. These are all the words, mantras that are there in Brahadaranyaka. We chanted them. Then when we study Veda and all, these are told. In today's world, let us enjoy this life as long as we are and do this or that punya, because Shastra says with punya we get Uttama Loka Prapti. What is the meaning of Uttama Loka Prapti? Again, there better comforts and joys. There is no discussion about Vidya and Moksha. Okay, then iti etebhya. Now the beautiful thought with which we concluded yesterday, so supreme, so sublime, so beautiful it is. Iti etebhya vyavruta kamasya. The one whose heart, because of consciously living for many, many lives, got freed from all these temporary, binding, limited desires, etc. Hypothetically, any jiva can have that maturity in his antakarana of freeing himself from his desires for all these lokas. Sambhavana to hai ki nahi. To such a person, etebhya vivritta kamasya. He doesn't know all that. Like this happens to you and me also. If not permanently, sporadically, once in a month or a week, for 15-20 minutes, यार सब छोड़कर पूजा करते हैं, ध्यान करते हैं. But only 10 minutes by the time you do, then the call comes from she or he. Immediately, the sadhaka in us is kept in the dabba, and then samsari comes and we go there. Dum hilate हुए. Just to give an idea. But there is another person who was cleansed of his heart of any of such things. उनको ये तीनों लोगों को जानने की इच्छा नहीं है, ऐशनाएं. Therefore, he is not interested in doing those things which take us to that world. And all the upata durita vasanas are also cleared. Now, another thing added to that person. What is that? Nitya Siddha Atma Loka Darshinaha. What a beautiful word it is. He is Nitya Siddha Atma Loka Darshi. Means what? He, through the study of Shastra in many lives from the Guru, he is interested. Darshana means desirous of. One darshana is one, he is convinced about. Second darshana is, therefore, he want to do sadhana to convert his conviction into experience. Of what? Nitya Siddha Atma Loka. Earlier people are Manushya Loka, Pitruloka and Devaloka, Sukha, Bhoga, they want. But they are all Anitya. But this person is matured because of his regular study from the Guru, the Shastras, that there is another Loka other than these three, that is the Atma Loka, and that is Nitya Siddha. It is eternally there. You only have to focus your attention to that and identify with that. And that darshanam is the moksha. It is because Nitya. It is not Anitya coming and going. And if this thought enters into someone very strongly, karmani prayojanam apashyataha, then what is of karma for him which gives temporary karma phala, even though it is of higher worlds? Karmani prayojanam apashyata, katam pravruti upadyate. Then how can he be involved in that karma? You see that? Means these are all the stages we have to cross inside us. That is what is hinted indirectly by Bhagavan Adi Shankara by bringing the prasanga of a discussion between Purvapakshi and Siddhanta. This is how we have to grow in our convictions from the lower to the higher. So it's all an individual's inner thinking. So I'm an individual in this body, I'm given, so I'm living my life. Now, right now I'm in a Grihastha Ashrama. So many of the Upata Durti are there in me. Therefore, prompted by them, I'm always involved in Kamya Karma, sometimes even Nishiddha Karma also. So this is only as Karma Phala going to bind me more and more. One thinking. Second thing is what? See, I am doing so many yajnas, upasanas. What they give me? They give me the Pitraloka and Devaloka. But are they Nitya or Anitya? They are Anitya. Second discussion. Third one is what? But we did study the Shastra Upanishad from the Guru. What did the Guru say in the Upanishad Jnanam? Of course, all these were given in the Brahmacharya Ashram only to every one of them in those days. So the third option is what? There is a Nitya Siddha Atmaloka Prapti. Think about it. If that grahastha in his heart gets that idea and purely he is clear of all samskaras also. Yes, who is that? Chappu? Hey, I'll talk to you later. I'm in online class. I'll phone you. So one can have that calmness and quietness of mind, intellect to inquire in this way or not. And by chance, if he really within him gets into the deep understanding that I don't want the temporary, I want only the permanent one. Think about it. I want only the permanent one. Nitya Siddha Atmaloka hi mujhe chahiye. Even in that grahastha, if he thinks like that, what is the use of karma for him anymore? Either for that grahastha that thought can come, or before entering the grahastha ashrama only it can come. Then your all karmas in the Upanishads, even though they are given the Vedas, are not required because karma gives temporary result already discussed. I want the permanent one. Permanent is the Atma Loka. I only have to focus my attention through Vidya and gain it. So these possibilities are there or not, my dear. While saying so, our Bhagavan Shankara is giving so lovingly, kindly a higher idea to that Purvapakshi who is lost in karma and karma phala. See, there is no dosha in doing karma and getting karma phala. But they are all anitya. They have every moment the danger lurking in them of misguiding us to something or the other. That zone itself is always dangerous. You may be taking all the cares, yet there is a risk. But when that all is avoided, we have fully convincingly taken up the path of the Vidya for the Prapti of the permanent one. You are on a safe highway. But even safe highway also, there will be the hard works you have to do totally of this Vidya Prapti Hetu. Those sadhanas anyway we have to do. For nobody, for a grahastha the karma kandi the karma phala, for a adhyatmika sadhaka adhyatma sadhana phala never comes easily without effort. पहले तो बात पक्का है. But then here, once he is convinced, he is more safe. The non-safety is only in if he is not convinced. Conviction हो गया मानो, he is on the royal path of vidya prapti and dhyanam and moksham. If there is no conviction, then only he gets tempted. That danger is there if he is not convinced. But conviction हो गया तो कौन रोकेगा? But यहाँ क्या है? Every moment there is a risk. Therefore, what he said, there is a state of mind one can gain in which he can be in this level, as a result of which he may not require to do the karma. Therefore, vidya prapti se moksha hota hai, कर्म की उतना जरूरत नहीं है. Karma's job is only upatadutakshay. वो हो गया तो you need not again initiate new karma. You can go for vidya. That is what Bhagavan's here guidance. Now, how beautiful is next thought. Next para is fully dedicated to you all who are listening to Upanishad regularly. You all grastas who are regularly listening to Upanishad, भगवान शंकर ने एक पैराग्राफ आपको भी दे दिया यहाँ. पक्का it is 2500% suitable to you only. What is written, you see how beautiful it is analysis. Be conscious. When you come with the conscious alert mind, what is discussed not only comes to the cognition or understanding, you start enjoying also this new understanding, new knowledge, new wisdom, new conviction. He says, Pratipanna garhastasya api. Somebody entered Garhastha and living everything fully well. While living and conducting the Garhastha let's say in today's calculation, he has reached the age of 50 saal. And even before that, 50 क्यों 40, because of some earlier life samskaras or this type somebody's guidance. Let us say he started going to listen to the Upanishad Jnana of someone. जैसे आप लोग आ गए हो, अब सुनते सुनते धीरे धीरे आपको भी मन विद्या प्राप्ति के लिए मुड़ेगा ना, चांस है कि नहीं? इसलिए मेरे यहाँ कहो भैया, मेरे हाथ में जानते के लिए. सो प्रतिपन्न गार्हस्थस्य अपि कि विद्या उत्पत्तौ, when he is getting the intellectual knowledge. Here vidya utpatti is he is getting convinced about the knowledge gained at the intellectual level while listening to somebody, the Upanishads, Brahma Vidya ityadi, in which Atma Anubhuti alone is moksha, Brahma Anubhuti alone is moksha. He is getting that conviction. He is doing his grahastha ashrama karma, but he is also getting a time to attend. He is attending it. His vidya getting utpatti in him. Intellectual knowledge is getting conviction. So, vidya utpattau and vidya paripakat, not only the beginning of the presence of Atmanubhuti as a cause of moksha happened in him, but vidya paripakat. He also did his own study, contemplation. He compared the life which he is living, endowed with so much of karma, karma phala entanglements. And he also studied that vidya and seen some Mahatmas of the past, present. What happens to him? Vidya paripak ho jata hai. Paripaka means doubtless conviction about the mukti hetu is only Atma Vidya. He is continuing in Grahastha Ashram only. But let us say if he has reached to that level, Vidya utpatti hua, Vidya paripak bhi hua. Before that, he was in avidya only, of avidya kama karma as a ideal, traditional, systematic grahastha. 99% ऐसे होते हैं. 1% आप जैसे बुद्धू लोग या आप जैसे अनफॉर्चुनेट लोग come and listen to Upanishad. Vidya utpatti starts. Vidya paripaka also happens. Now, no guru need to say after it. No shastra need to say. No Bhagavan need to prompt that person to understand, to accept the non-essential nature of karmas. अपने आप होता है कि नहीं? 100% overnight suddenly सब कुछ नहीं होता. But धीरे धीरे he starts analyzing, understanding which are the places the karma unnecessarily I am doing, and he starts withdrawing. Because here vidya utpatti, vidya paripak ho gaya. And that call in the heart to realize that self, as experienced by the great rishis and munis, that call as it becomes stronger and powerful. An example of possibility is saying, hypothetically, हो सकता है कि नहीं, that is what the point of Bhagavan. तुम्हारे अंदर होना चाहिए, he will order it, but it is again your subject to desire. But chance कह रहे यहाँ. His idea is, even to a grahastha, when he has matured to be in the conviction of vidya prapti and moksha, his heart itself loses interest in doing the karma, is it not? So, pratipanna garhasthasya api vidya utpattau vidya paripakayam vidya paripakat viraktasya. This virakta is natural. The virakti in such grahas is not because the husband or wife is very troublesome, children are very troublesome. No, सब कुछ ठीक है. Beautiful, everything. Yet he just got fascinated, enchanted by that reality or the truth or the self or realization or moksha or vidya. So he is liking that. Therefore, naturally from within karma viraktasya, he slowly starts becoming virakta. Karmasu prayojanam apashyatah. Slowly he matures to know that there is no prayojana in these karmas which I was doing so many. Karmas prayojanam apashyatah nivritti eva syat. Even he also starts withdrawing. How many grahasthas are there, lived vigorously their grahastha ashrama for some time. Thereafter, guided by, blessed by some Mahatmas, they started learning the Vidya, and from unnecessary, so many unnecessary things, they started withdrawing and doing their sadhana. There are 1,000 times more grahastha sadhakas are there, even 1,000 ke 1 lakh time, than the sadhu sannyasi sadhakas. Many, so many Mahatmas are giving pravachanam, and so many of the Grahasthas listening them, and many of them, even in this worst Kali Yuga also, at their own capacity, there are very many reducing their involvements in karma, doing their own adhyatmic sadhana more. They don't go uncalled. Even when they are called, only if it is required they go. Other time what they are doing, referring to some book, studying something, doing their japa, dhyana. तो ये सब तो आध्यात्मिक साधना ये है, but he's a गृहस्थ is doing. But why are you not involved in this or that karma? That karma and karma फल temporary. I don't want. I want परमात्मा बस. So प्रतिपन्न गारहस्थ से पर only this happens to one who जिनके अंदर विद्या का उत्पत्ति, विद्या का परिपाक हुआ. नहीं हुआ तो he will even 90 years age still is lost in great grandchildren only. That also is there. Many people are there. मरने को आ रहा है फिर भी so busy सूट बूट पहन के goes in the car to check what's happening in the factory or company. That fellow is unfortunate, never got the chance to listen to Vidya at all. देखो the problem see in कलियुगा गृहस्थ आश्रम छोड़कर वानप्रस्थ में पहुंचोगे तो you can go to guru and study from him the Upanishads, Vedanta, Vidya, and you can seek that further. You can take sannyasa. Or this will never giving up grahastha ashram only, so you will never go to the guru, you will never listen the Vidya. There's no information in him about the possibility of atma jnana or the moksha. In that case, umar 70 ho, 80 ho, 90 ho, he'll be lost in the grahastha ashram karma. देखो जो कर्म में फंसा है गृहस्थ आश्रम नहीं छोड़ेगा, तो गृहस्थ आश्रम में फंसा है कर्म नहीं छोड़ेगा, वो बंदे को कभी विद्या मिलेगा नहीं. therefore he will never go for the vidya prapti sadhana, moksha sadhana. That type of people also are there. All these analyses are only to come to our cognition. Where do we stand? What is our position? What is our next step? And all the discussion based on what? The Purpakshi's words of water. Keep doing the Nitya Karma as a Grahastha and go and do the Upata Durita. In Grahastha Ashram क्या है? Because कर्म उपात दुरित होता ही है क्षय, but नया भी ऐड होता रहता है. Out of compulsion, out of obligations, out of so many reasons. Unfortunate they are in that way spiritually seen. If you don't take the spiritual aspect, they are enjoying their artha and their kama. They are doing the putreshana के द्वारा ये लोग को पा रहे, यज्ञ and upasana के द्वारा they will get definitely the pitru and devaloka. उसमें कोई कमी नहीं है, but vidya और moksha will not come to them. So प्रतिपन्न गारहस्थस्यापि विद्या उत्पत्तौ विद्या परिपाकात् विरक्तस्य. His mind is now naturally withdrawn. Therefore, karmasu prayojanam apashyataha. He is not seeing any faida in doing any karma. Therefore, karma bhya nivrittihi eva syat. He also does nivritti from the karma. Therefore, jnana karma samuchaya mein karma has to be done for the upata durita kshaya. Thereafter, one should take up only vidya for moksha. Point 1. Second two is what? Some of them have done the clearance of all upata durita earlier only. In this life, straight away they go to guru and take the vidya. They don't enter into that difficult path which is otherwise necessary for those whose hearts are not purified, called as grahastha ashrama. उसको bypass करके वो सीधा पहले से ही आत्मज्ञानी बनेगा. Second aspect of people go through the grahastha ashrama, but if they are not conscious, they will be lost in that only. Third, if they are fortunate enough to get the guidance from someone regarding the presence of the Atma and Atma Vidya and Moksha, when they are thoroughly getting the paripaka in that, they know these all things are not so much required. Then they give the chavi to the daughter-in-law or to their son and etc. Then they slowly, in the same house, they make a corner room and they try the Vidya Prapti. Earlier, never allowed the children to do anything. मेरे को करना है. But once, by chance, in him, if the Vidya Prapti desire grows stronger, then he only calls the children and says, "Beta, अब तुम संभालो. पापा ये काम करना है, अब आओ. No, तुम कर लो, मेरे को नहीं आना है. I'm busy with Swamiji's classes. I'm busy with my Upanishad study." No, with this person, when he's becoming stronger in Vidya in this way, in this very life he can get moksha. That is, there are millions of grahasthas who, toward the end of their life, 10-15 years, they have withdrawn from everything, spent the time only in sadhana, realized. There were so many rajas, they became rajarshis. ब्राह्मण क्षत्रिय वैश्य हर बंदे लोग उन दिनों में After certain age, every profession they give to the next generation. For survival, what was required, they take up. And the time they spent only in Vidya Prapti, and they are all used to seek Mukti. 80-90% मुक्त, 10-20% अगले जन्म में शुरू से ऐसा होता था. अभी सब बिगड़ गया. जितना भी बिगड़ने तो बाहर की दुनिया. We always have chance for our own moksha. Therefore, intelligently, Bhagavan Shankara, what is hinting? He is hinting that only which we have studied in the 9th Anuvaka. Do you remember that? What are the shlokas? तपश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च सत्यं च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च धर्मं च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च तपश्च स्वाध्याय धमश्च देन प्रजाश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च प्रजनश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च प्रजातिश्च स्वाध्याय. यू रिमेंबर दैट? यार तू गृहस्थ आश्रम में रहते हुए भी थोड़ा थोड़ा स्वाध्याय प्रवचन करोगे तो विद्या उत्पत्ति, विद्या परिपाक विल हैपन. बाय दैट टाइम यू हैव गॉन थ्रू योर गृहस्थ आश्रम आल्सो. Both of them together mature you to a level of interest in the Vidya Prapti and Moksha, and no more meaning in this Grahastha Ashrama because it's already done, whatever you felt wanting to do. Then you take up your Vidya sadhana only, exclusively reach out. So he is telling everyone who's entering the Grahastha Ashrama, you go through all your whatever, at the same time, Swadhyaya Pravachan mat chodo. What will happen if you don't do Swadhyaya Pravachana? Atma Vidya Paripaka will not come, even though you are growing in age. That's what I said just now. 90-80 साल भी हो गए, ये आत्मविद्या का जिक्र ही नहीं है. Therefore, in that grahastha ashrama, sukha bhoga only, like चूहा की तरह जो ना वो काजू किशमिश के लिए देखता रहता है ना, is only looking for this or that bhoga. Even with going 80-90, age भी बढ़ रहा है, bodily ailments are there. In and through again he wants, doctor साहब और 2 इंजेक्शन दे दो, मुझे ये खाना है, वो देखना है, वो सोना है. He is only in that world of samsara. देखो, that is why what is said in Upanishad there, Bhagavan here Shankara through his Bhashya trying to convey out of all his love and concern. There is no sentiments or emotions or compulsions, any type of obligation from his side. Every jiva is to get to moksha. This is the technique of the moksha. That only through Vidya the mukti comes. And the problem for the Vidya is what? Ragadvesha. To exhaust them only through Grahastha Ashrama, you clear it. If you don't have the Vidya, the Grahastha Ashrama becomes cause of more and more Ragadvesha. And that leads to Kama Krodha. That's what Bhagavan Rama told Lakshman yesterday. Hey Lakshman, Vidya Prapti के लिए Kama Krodha ही बड़ा विघ्न होते हैं. उनमें से भी क्रोध का ऐसा है. After saying this now, he gives a quotation. What's the quotation here for? Ki a person lived fully, healthily, grahastha ashrama. While doing so, he was also doing the Vidya Prapti. In the maturity of both, he comes to an inner healthy Vairagya conviction that no more I am interested in the grahastha ashrama karma and the karma phala. I want to have the Vidya phala of the moksha. Whose example is giving here of the great rishi of this Upanishad? ये तो एक्चुअली याज्ञवल्क्य जी ने he threw it out of his mouth. Then the three birds have eaten, therefore it has become Taittiriya Upanishad. Then he went and discovered the Shukla Yajurveda with the guidance of Bhagavan Surya. वो तो है ही उस याज्ञवल्क्य ऋषि का एग्जाम्पल है. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, in the 4th adhyaya, 2nd khanda, we see कि he calls the Maitreyi, our great Yajnavalkya. He has got 2 wives, Maitreyi and Gargi. So he had a very good Grahastha ashrama, but he was studying his Shastra also. One day suddenly he calls the Maitreyi and says, hey Maitreyi, call Gargi, to you both, I am giving you entire wealth. I am going to take the sannyasa for my higher sadhana. It's one of the very topmost topic of all the Upanishads. This Maitreyi, Yajnavalkya Maitreyi Samvada. One of the beautiful it is. In that. And then she inquires, you are leaving all this wealth and Grahastha Ashrama Sukha, means what you are going for must be greater than this. Otherwise, no fool leaves the higher Sukha and goes for lower one. Then there's a beautiful discussion. Is that having greater than this one? Obviously it is so. Then you teach me. Then he gives that wonderful discourse to her. She also becomes spiritual. All these Maitris, Gargis, they're all great, great yogis of many, many lives became the sadhakas and siddha purushas. So that quotation is says, ki pravrajishyanva are aham asmat sthanat asmi. This is the sentence of Yagnavalkya in that Upanishad. Are Maitreyi, O mere pyare. Are in those days also was there in Sanskrit. Hare, ki pravrajishyanva. I want to take the sannyas and go for my exclusive vidya prapti. Aham asmat sthanad asmi. From this place I want to get to the sannyasa. I want to live and go. Please allow me, he says to them. Wonderful. I will study that definitely. 2-3 साल लगेंगे सब तो आगे करना है. Maybe only that prasanga we can take for 10 days sometime. Next Chaturmas mein we will study this Maitreyi Brahmana, it is called as. They are all called as Brahmanas in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. In Chandogya they are all called as Khanda. So the Maitreyi Brahmana is one of the beautiful things. So that he quotes and says, so it evamadi Shruti Linga Darshanatu. Such Shrutis are so many there in the Shastra to say. So here the Guru Shankara Bhagavan trying to remove that strong notion that are there in that Purva Pakshi that somehow or the other have to do the karma and get moksha. Like we at our own level, somehow or the other, we want to avoid the dukkha without avoiding papa. And many of us want the sukha without doing punya. We always look to do something to make it possible. But hota nahi wo. You know, in some of the bargains, he told 200 rupees, you ask for 100. And you are going on bargain, yaar, de 200 rupees. Oh, say, this is a waste bargain, oh my dear. Please pay 200 and take it, or please leave this place. Other customers are coming. बिकॉज आई कांट गिव टू 100 रुपीज, मुझे 190 रुपये होता है, 10 रुपए का प्रॉफिट है मुझे, मेरे नुकसान से मैं कैसे आपको दे सकता हूं? डोंट यू सी सच टाइप ऑफ शॉप्स? इन द सेम वे द श्रुति सेज, बेटा पाप करेगा तो दुख होएगा ही, बट वी गो ऑन बार्गेनिंग, डूइंग द पापा बट डोंट वांट दुख. लटकते ही रहते वहां. द अदर फेलो इज व्हाट, ही नेवर डज द पुण्य बट यू वांट सुख. पर श्रुति से यार पुण्य कर तभी सुख मिलेगा. वो कहते नहीं करूंगा, मैं सुख तो दे दो. नहीं. इन द सेम वे दिस पूर्व पक्षी सेज, आई वांट टू इन्वॉल्व इन कर्म एंड वांट टू गेट विद्या एंड मोक्ष. अरे गुरु कह रहे, अरे बेटा, दिस इज विद्या क्षेत्र उत्तरेशम, दिस इज विद्या क्षेत्र इज डिफरेंट. Here you are only becoming aware of the pure self inside you. For that you have to dissolve your own individuality. And individuality को छोड़ना होता है, तो फिर individuality का कर्तृत्वपन, कर्म फलासक्ति, भोक्तृत्वपन, कर्म करना, how can all these things can be continued? Why don't you think and understand? But फिर भी, you know, Guru, I want to do karma, I have to get moksha. He said, नहीं होगा बेटा. Therefore, Vyuthaya Vaikshasharyam Charanti. From all the karma, kartrutva, karma phalasakti, raga, dvesha, the one who rises above, his chitta vrittis only are become niruddha. He alone can become dastu swarupa avastha. Not otherwise. How much ever we have the Vedanta Jnanam, if you are not paripakva in our understanding of the uselessness of the karma and karma phala, we can never make the theory practical, never experience it. Vedanta sirf siddhanti reh jata hai, it can never give us moksha. So this is what he says. But still the Purva Pakshi, do you think he will leave us? He has some more discussion to say. He says कि कर्म प्रति श्रुते यत्न आधिक्य दर्शनात् अयुक्तमिति चेत. अरे श्रुति में तो इतना कर्म के बारे में बताता गया है. Shruti did lot of effort in giving importance to karma because the karma prasangas are 80% in Shruti, only 20 are the Vedanta prasangas. Not even 80, there's 90%. So there is a Shruti Virodha. Ayuktamiti chet. That means what? Only to few people the Shruti want to give moksha, और बाकी सबको कर्म में फंसाना चाहती है. That so much she has spoken about the karma kanda only. कर्म एंड उपासना दोनों। अयुक्तमिति चेत, क्योंकि he is trying his own point, or he is taking the think that everybody should be having authority of the Vedas. So वेद को अथॉरिटी पकड़कर वेद में, उपनिषद में और वेदों में इतना बताया श्रुति में अबाउट कर्म, वन पॉइंट। सेकंड इज व्हाट, थोड़ा नाराज हो गए। He's in Grahastha ashram. Naturally, it is all, everybody in that group place, when they are there, they are biased to that. Anything said against, they become angry with that. तो किसी का एक कार है, अब कुछ बोलो उस कार के बारे में, it feels very bad. अब उसने कार बेच दिया, then you tell about it, he is not bothered now because अपना नहीं है. So to people, their own religion, the caste, their positions, anything you comment about, they become angry. Like कुछ कहो डॉक्टर्स को, हो कि आप कैसे कहते समय, कुछ कोई लॉयर्स को कह दो, पॉलिटिशियंस को कह दो, हंगामा करेंगे वो लोग, मीडिया वालों को कह दो, हमको घसीटेंगे वो खींचे. Everybody got the tadatmya or abhimana with what are the position, which is natural. So he is so much possessed by, intoxicated by, or is so much conditioned by his being in karma kanda yukta grahastha ashrama. So when he proved that brahmachari, vanaprasthi, sannyasi भी मोक्ष पा सकते हैं, in fact grahastha ashram में ज़्यादा problem है, he did not like it. You people also, when the sannyasis give the grahastha ashrama examples to make you laugh, then you feel bad. And you also find things like for a sannyasi to make. ये तमाशा चलता ही रहता है. Do you see that in our Bhagavata Mahatmya? When that Mahatma said, "Yaar, you don't have children in 7 lives, you are so lucky. Give up everything, take sannyas and do meditation." That Grahastha Atmadev, what did he say? When the house is filled with children and grandchildren, and they are laughing, jumping, crying, susuing, how wonderful it is. You sannyasi, you never understand that. Sannyasa shushka evahi. He gives the opposite answer. जब सन्यासी knows, understood कि इसको ज्यादा मौका देंगे तो मेरे को ग्रस बनाएगा, इसको फल दे दे. He gave the fruit and he ran. Very powerful are their emotions and logics. In this is called Maya. That everybody is intelligent to justify what they are doing. Not intelligent to analyze and know what is higher than this. This is called Mahamaya, playing its play in the world, and when the world is going on and under the influence of that Maya Ishvara is laughing without stop even a moment, seeing all these cartoons playing under the influence of that Maya. Justify. He says, Shruti talked about karma so extensively, then you are rejecting it completely. ये तो सरासर उल्टा हो गया, और आपके मुंह से तो होना ही नहीं चाहिए, because you are a सन्यासी, you are आदि शंकरा, you are the follower of the श्रुति माता. श्रुति माता को ही आप जो है इंसल्ट कर रहे हो वहां, अयुक्तमिति चेत. He is explaining that. What is next one is what? Agnotradi karma prati shrutehe adhikaha yatnaha. Where we have not studied all the Vedas, therefore we don't understand all what is said. Many times when a guru or speaker speaks something with in detailed explanation, but that fellow has never seen that field, इसलिए उसको बात समझ में आता ही नहीं. So we have not studied the Vedas in their extension. We are only studying Upanishads. Straight away, which is giving us the Atma Jnana Siddhanta. But if you have gone through Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, apart from the Upanishad, the other portions which are bulky in its quantity, you will see everywhere Agnihotram Juyat, Karma Kuryat, Upasana Kuryat, only this is there. Somewhere in the corner, the Upanishad is there. Like in the Ishavasya. Hundreds of mantras spoke about Karma Kanda, 18 mantras for Upanishad. That's it. So in the Mandukya case, so much Karma Kanda told, Tattva ke बारे सिर्फ 12 मंत्र ही बताए. That point he says, Karma prati shruti yatna adhikyaha, Agnihotra adi karma prati shruti hai adhika yatnaha. How much effort the Shruti Mata has put in telling us to do the Agnihotra adi karma. Then the next one, see, his feeling, seeking sympathy from the Guru Maharaj. Mahancha karmani ayasaha. अरे ये अग्निहोत्र आदि कर्म जो गृहस्थ करते हैं, how much ayasa is there in that? We have to go to the jungles and get that wood and dry it up. Grahastha keh rahe wo. After then you have to organize all the things, make the Agni Kundam, and in that very house or around, we have to do that yajna, and the smoke comes throughout the day. And we are always with some or the other is problem. Not only the Agnihotra karma we have to do, we have to take care of the samsara, the wife or the children, even the parents. हम लोग गृहस्थी इतने मेहनत कर रहे हैं. What sannyasi and vanaprasthi and brahmachari doing? Useless fellows. They only depend on us. How are you comparing us with them? And that too, you are putting them in high pedestal. You are belittling us. हमारे मेहनत को थोड़ा देखो समझो. It is because of one only the brahmacharis are born. Out of us only frustrated fellows become vanaprasthi. And without brahmachari gurastha ashrama, how can one take up sannyas? We are the company or the factory producing other three ashramas with all our effort. How can you deny the importance to gurastha ashrama? That is what is described. First thing he said was Upanishad itself, sorry, Shruti Mata herself is done extra yatana to tell the importance of Agnihotra, the karma. Point one. Two, see, when we am talking in this language, you have to translate it into today's world. The Agnihotra, the karma of those days is what? Your own jobs, your own duties, your own professions, businesses, and variety of social gatherings, the memberships and involving in all activities. In सबको आप समझना है, which you think as your duty. उन दिनों में ये नहीं थे और इन दिनों में वो चीजें नहीं है. Things have changed, but getting lost in karma, going away from the vidya is the same one. So too, coming back to the vidya also is same. So you have to understand in your language of today's world. Clear? So the Purva Paksha says, karma pratishrute yatnadikya darshanat ayuktamidi chet. Continuation, Agnihotradi karma pratishrute adhika yatna. Said, not only that, mahancha karmane ayasaha. How much difficult all these things to manage. Every grasthas have this thing. पाला पोसा, बच्चों को बड़ा किया, बड़ों को देखा, घर गृहस्थी संभाला, नौकरी भी किया, सोशल ऑब्लिगेशंस भी किए, all the family relatives programs we attend. We are so hard working, they say. And what is sannyasi vanudanu? They खाते एक जगह बैठकर और क्या? Some of them have that notion. But many of them, they find all this maja in that. वो मजा भी आता है, वो फिर सन्यासी को will not have all that then. So mahan ayasa karmani. We are working hard. You say give up karma. It's okay. Giving up is very easy, but doing is difficult. How much struggle we are going through, we only know it. That's why many grasthas have this opinion. स्वामी जी आपको नहीं पता. अरे यार पिछले ईयर में सब पता, इसलिए सब. When you are presenting such a good examples to us, why should we involve? They feel out of their respect, they don't say, but कहते हैं आप इस जगह होते तो पता होता है आपको बच्चे कैसे तंग करते हैं, पत्नी या पति करते हैं. In their face, all that I read. What's what they can't say but want to say. This is what the Purvapakshi is trying to say to Siddhanta. Siddhanta will listen aram se, and he has such a tremendous answers, beautiful answers. And this discussion almost would be the last but one discussion. इसके बाद उनको और एक प्रश्न होगा क्या? एक और प्रश्न होगा पूर्व पक्षी का. With that, the final conclusion of how far the karma is required to be done and given up and taken up, the only vidya that he explains. And all this, my own mind is thinking, please. Data received from both Purvapakshi and Siddhanti, I have to think, where do I stand in my mind's thoughts now? To what I am giving importance, in what I am involving. Am I involving in the avidya janita kamya karma, with the karma phala sakti? Then I am pakka samsari. Never I get moksha. I get these lokas, but not moksha. But I am listening to Upanishad also, Bhagavan Shankara's logics also. So mukti comes only through Atma Vidya. Atma Vidya Varapti ke liye you have to get out of the karma samskaras. For that only you have to do the karma. Once it is done, no more involved in that. Only go to the Guru, listen to Mahavakya, and give on doing contemplation till establishing in the self. After that, be in that. That's it. प्रज्ञा को पाओ, उसमें स्थित हो जाओ, स्थित प्रज्ञा. In that effort itself of knowledge and meditation, all this world is unreal, that is understood. Therefore, there will be no charm after understanding is unreal. Right now, we have so much of fascination for the world because we are in the delusion that this world is true and real. When you take it as real, you will not leave it because it's real lag raha hai. But in pursuing the Atma Vidya, in the discussions, logics, explanations, when we become very deep and subtle in our contemplation, we understand only two things. There are no third thing to understand. One is all the world is in the mind. Mind is in pure consciousness. Conscious self is reality. Mind is projected. From the projected mind, projected is the world. How much ever it is looking gross, subtle, causal, individual, total, substantial, अब कितना भी दिखे ये सब मन ही है. See all these slokas we study in all Vivek Chudamani and all that. In the 20 slokas explaining the mana, he clearly says the entire world, entire upadhis are projected by the mind only. They are not real. Mana prasute vishayana seshan sthulatmana sukshmataya cha bhoktu. Please remember, it's very tough thing to understand, but you are qualified to understand it now after your 3 years of listening. What is that? Just because something is so solidly there in front of us, perceivable to our senses, please don't get carried away accepting that it is real. No. इतना भी आपको सॉलिड दिख रहा है आंखों से सब वगैरह, फिर भी वो सत्य नहीं है. That's why the example of movie, example of the dream, we say in the dream it appeared to be so real. By the way, आज क्या dream आया? So real it is, but you wake up, कुछ भी नहीं है. ये थोड़ा पकड़ना है इस बात को. I am living in this world with this body and upadhis and contacting शब्द स्पर्श रूप रस गंध, उनका अनुभव आ रहा है. फिर भी from the higher contemplation standpoint, these are all unreal only. Like how much ever you are using the pot for water, etc., still from the deeper inquiry standpoint, mud alone is real, not the pot. संभावना की बात कह रहे, पकड़ के रखना उसको, because on this only later on the ability to develop vairagya and keep away the world stays. Then only we can go for Atma Vidya. स्थूल है इसलिए सत्य है मानते जाओगे तो कभी उसके सत्यता को नहीं छोड़ेंगे, देन उसको छोड़ने को मन नहीं होगा. Because if it is real, you can't give up. Only we have to discover that it is unreal, then only you give up. It's only discovery. Already it is unreal. It's all projection. That is why instead of running into the world by after perceptions through the senses, pause and inquire. Keep on inquiring. That's why the दृश्य जगत मिथ्या है, दृश्य दृष्टा के ऊपर डिपेंड होता है. ये सारे बहुत बहुत हमको करना पड़ता है. The deeper inquiry. Can the world of Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasagandha exist without senses? No. Can the senses exist without mind? No. Can the mind exist without the self? No. Therefore, where is the sense world of Shabda Sparsha other than the self? That doesn't click easily. It's only a question of clicking. But some years when you do this inquiry, suddenly one day, that jumping into that higher conviction happens. वो एक जादू होता है, वही गुरु कृपा होता है. You understand what effort you are doing it now of analyzing and saying that the world is seen is mithya, that conviction comes after certain years of practice. वो मजा होता है एक बार वो क्लिक होने के बाद. Thereafter all the value given to this world goes away. You become truly vairag. That's what we are saying. The whole world is mind's projection, not real. You have to slowly enter into that type of true thinking. And gurus and shastras fail in this regard if we are not following them and contemplating. अगर ये बात मिस हो गया मानो कि सत्य ही मानते गए जगत को, कोई आपको इस जगत से छुड़ाएगा नहीं तो यू कांट बी पुट इन टच विद द आत्मा. मोक्ष मिलेगा ही नहीं. ये बात है. सो व्हेन ही सेड दिस पॉइंट कि वी हैव सो मच आयास एज ग्रस्त And Vedamata also told about so many karmas to be done. How can you compare these Grahasthashram with the other three and say we are lesser than them? In fact, they are nothing. That's what he says. I read it for you. Aneka sadhana sadhyatvat agnihotrādīnām. अग्निहोत्रादि इजी थोड़ी है करना, करके दिखाओ. And whereas tapaha brahmacharyadinam cha itara ashrama karmanam, very simple they are, and garhastyapi samanatvat. We are doing our own works, we are doing the work which they don't do, and we are doing their works also. हम तो तीन तरह से हम दबे हुए हैं. What they do tapasya, they also we do. And we as a grahasthas are so much having problem in the family maintaining, and we have to do the agnihotradi also. We are three places we are so working hard. And what is he doing? तपया ब्रह्मचर्या ये क्या है, कुछ करना ही नहीं वहां. बाबा जी कर रहे हैं, क्या कर रहे हैं? मौन कर रहे हैं. मौन करना थोड़ी है. इज नॉट डूइंग एनीथिंग ओनली. हमको तो बातें कर करके इतना कन्विंस करना पड़ता है. आवर वर्क इज हार्ड, नॉट देयर्स. दैट इज व्हाट इज फीलिंग. सिर अनन्य अल्प साधनापेक्षत्वाच्च इतरेषाम. मीन्स ही सेड गृहस्थी दूसरों का साधना है तो इतने अल्प है, कुछ करते ही नहीं वो लोग, सिर्फ खाते बैठे रहते. हरिद्वार में, ऋषिकेश, व्हाट दे आर डूइंग? सी वी पीपल go to company, go to factory, work so much, get so much thing. We are managing the whole world's show, he says. अब इसका जो मजेदार आंसर शंकर भगवान देंगे ना, बढ़िया रहेगा वो. कंक्लूजन इज व्हाट? न युक्तः तुल्यवत् विकल्पः आश्रमेभिः तस्य इति चेत्. Therefore, don't compare even the brahmacharya grahastha brahmacharya vanaprastha sannyasi to the grahastha. Grahasthas are something higher, greater. They are the support of the world. They are so important. No, these are all his emotional way of telling to convince Shankara to live so that he can go for grahastha ashram. क्या है ना, दिमाग जो वासनाएं स्ट्रांग होते हैं ना, उसी के अनुसार बुद्धि कर्मानुसारिणी ऐसा सोच कर कोशिश करता है. एंड इट टेक्स द हेल्प ऑफ द इमोशन ऑफ द माइंड. बोथ द इंटेलेक्ट जस्टिफिकेशन, इमोशंस ऑफ द माइंड पुट टुगेदर नेवर अलाउ अस टू रियलाइज द ट्रुथ. द ट्रुथ इज विद आत्मविद्या यू गेट मोक्ष. दिस इज व्हाट हैपेंस इनसाइड. There is no Bhagavan Shankara or Purvapakshi outside. They are in our own bosom. So what is his answer and what is the last question? Those two things we see tomorrow, and in sabka summary kahenge. So this 11th Anuvaka gets concluded. And the 12th Anuvaka is so small, there is nothing to discuss. It was already discussed in the first Anuvaka. If in fact wo khalli khatam ho sakta hoga. Then we enter into the most beautiful, the Brahma Vidya giving second Brahmananda Valli. Starts only with Brahma Vidapnoti Param Tadeshabhyukta Satyam Jnanamanantam Brahma. Now, I tell you, these 3-4 mantras of next Valli have so much of explanation by Bhashyakara, like we are doing for this. Be prepared in your mind to listen regularly, and I am sure that will lift our understanding to really higher level, which is very essential for our further spiritual progress. So let us study together. Thank you. Om, 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 Om. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. बोल श्री श्रुति माता की जय. परम ऋषिभ्यो पर ब्रह्मणे श्रुति मात्रे तत्सद ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु. Friends, whether we are able to do sadhana or not, don't hesitate to listen. And also understand, once listened, heard, try for understanding. After the understanding, you will definitely feel like doing sadhana. And Gurus and God never leaves us. They are always with us in their own way to guide us. On Elon, we are in a most safest zone. Nothing to worry. Let us do our little of yoga sadhana study.